Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. Welcome back, and if you are new, thank you for checking out my channel. Please hit subscribe and stick around. I've had a number of new subscribers lately, so thanks to all of you for supporting my channel. It means a lot to me and I really appreciate it. Today I am starting a new series called Margaret Made Me Read It. And this is inspired by the series that I did last year, Mondays with Margaret, when I read all of Margaret Atwood's books, with the exception of a couple of her graphic novels. This series is going to be books that I read throughout the year that Margaret Atwood talks about in her first nonfiction book, which is called Survival. As I read these books from the many books she mentions in that book, I think there's like almost 200 of them, I will share them with you as part of this series. And I also thought that I might include an adventure vlog, since I'm only really talking about one book and it allows for some time for me to try and live up to the channel's name. For today, I am going to talk about Never Cry Wolf by Canadian author Farley Mowat. And for the adventure vlog part, I'm going to share a bookish adventure, a walking tour of public art that I participated in, and I will also give you a heads up about an adventure that I am currently participating in and will be doing so for the month of February, and I will tell you more about that in March, but I'll give you a sneak peek. So first, let's talk about books. Atwood mentions Farley Mowat a number of times in her nonfiction and even in her fiction. If you've read the Mad Adam trilogy, then you might remember that she talks about Saint Mowat, sometimes Saint Mowat of the Wolf, and that is a nod to Farley Mowat, who, if I had to choose another Canadian author to compare to Margaret Atwood, it would be Farley Mowat. First, because of the amount of books that he's written, that he's published. He wrote both fiction and nonfiction, although there is criticism around some of his nonfiction, which I will talk about in a little bit. He also had similar themes as Atwood. When it comes to representing Canada in literature, Mowat is one of the best, especially when it comes to Northern Canada. He also had a passion for the environment, which is a topic that Atwood is very passionate about. Mowat died in 2014 at the age of 92. And Never Cry Wolf is only the second book that I've read by Mowat, but it's one of his more popular titles. And it is marketed on the back, it says biography and autobiography. So the story is quite simple. In the Keewatin area, which was part of the Northwest Territories at the time the book was written, but it is now part of Nunavut. There were complaints that the wolves were killing the deer, and this wasn't good for the hunters. Mowat, a naturalist, was excited to be working with living animals, and he was to go out and see how they could solve this problem. And the story is at first told kind of in a comical way, but it didn't take me long before I was questioning a few things about the story. So in the story, Mowat is literally dropped in the middle of nowhere. Even the pilot doesn't know where he's leaving him, and he is so isolated. And there aren't really any resources. There's a radio that he was given, but it only seems to work in Peru and Russia. There's no talk about shelter or anything like that. And yet Mowat finds Mike, who is an Eskimo and white trapper, and the only person who lives in a 10,000 square mile area. So right away, I felt like things happened a little too quickly and a little too easily. There didn't seem to be enough tension and conflict for the circumstances that he was supposed to be in. He does eventually have contact with the wolf pack, and he monitors them, learning about them, and through Mike he also gains wisdom about what is really happening to the wolves and the deer. So there are some funny moments. It's an easy and smooth read, if that makes sense. And it turns out that there has been a lot of controversy over whether this is real or not. And I will leave a link in the description box about with an article about some of the criticism. So, did Mowat spend time with the wolves in the north? Yes, but for a very limited time and not under the circumstances that are presented in the book. For me, do I think there is some truth? Yes, I do, but I think the book is more inspired by an experience that Mowat had. And for me, that's different than what I expect an autobiography to be. I have to admit, I was a bit disappointed. Now had the book been marketed as fictional, I probably wouldn't have even thought about it. Mowat himself has said that this is a quote, never lets facts get in the way of a good story. And that for me means it should be fiction. A good story doesn't need to be nonfiction, so I say call a spade a spade. I think if you are going to read Never Cry Wolf, it would probably be best going into the story as a fictional story. I think it'll be easier to digest. This book, which was originally published in 1963, it did a lot for people's understanding of wolves at the time. There is still some controversy about this, though, because there's controversy that it spread myths that were not helpful and could even be harmful. However, the book also raised a lot of awareness about wolves and the protection of wolves. So there just seems to be a number of things about this book that needs to be balanced out. I'm glad that I read it, and I do have more Farley Mowat books to read, so it will be interesting to see, how they compare to this one. Well, I promised some adventures, and yesterday was February the 1st, and two exciting things happened. One is that the BookTube Prize categories were announced, and I am judging the prize this year, and I'm very excited to be part of it. I think it will be, a fun reading adventure. There was a lot of anticipation for the announcement, and I watched Gemma from Gem of Books and Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, and they did a video, and they said that the BookTube Prize is like Fight Club. The first rule of the BookTube Prize is you don't talk about the BookTube Prize. So it might be ironic, but I will leave a link in the description box below with their video where they talk all about the BookTube Prize. It is true though, I can tell you that I'm judging the prize. I can tell you that for the first round, which goes through February and March, that I am reading and judging for the translated fiction section category, I guess. But we are not allowed to talk about specifics of the books that we are reading or anything like that. So if you are interested in the BookTube Prize, I will leave a link to that video that Robert put out, so you can see the books that are part of the prize in nonfiction, fiction, and translated fiction. And you can also see all of the categories. So I will be starting those books soon. I'm waiting for them in the mail. But I think what I will do is I will wait until I can talk about the books that I'm reading, and I will do a video just on the BookTube Prize books that I've read. So that will be coming, but not for a while. I apologize that my dog is barking. The second very exciting thing that happened yesterday is, and I am so excited about this, Calgary's Hot Chocolate Festival started. Most of you may not know, but I love hot chocolate. Like, I really, really love it. So when I found out that there was a hot chocolate festival, I got so excited. The festival runs the entire month of February, and there are 90 vendors who have entered 97 drinks into the festival. The money raised goes to the local Meals on Wheels, so it's for a good cause. And there's an app, so you can see all of the drinks. And then once you try them, you can rate them. And at the end of the month, there are 3 awards that are given. One is for the highest rated, one is for, I think it's the most popular, and one is for the top rated that gets you a little tipsy. So I will keep you posted once the month is over, how the festival goes and how much I participated in it. I will leave a link below if you want to see the different drinks and vendors. And if you're local, then, please go out and check some of the places and the drinks out. The adventure that I participated in last weekend was a walking tour to see some local public art in 2 of Calgary's neighborhoods. The project is called Northern Reflections, and 16 local businesses have murals up for the month of February. These murals are really neat. Each mural had a team of a painter, an animator, and a musician. And when you're just walking by the murals, you're on the street walking by, they are interesting and they're eye-catching. But what makes this project really cool and different is that if you download an app called Ogle, it shows you the animation and you can hear the music. Unfortunately, when you move the videos from my phone, the animation works and everything is good, but you lose the music. So I will show you a few of my favorites, and you can at least see what they looked like before, and then you can see the animation, but you will be stuck with the music that I will put into the video. 8 of the 16 of these murals are within 3 blocks of where I live, which is so great. My favorites in my neighborhood were Luscious Laughter. As you can see, it's a fine painting without the app. Then with the app, it really brings it to life. Another one I really liked was Fox and Fish. I really liked the music on this one, so it's too bad that it doesn't come through. This one is at a bistro. It was nice to have some warmth in the winter time. This one at a brewer's was a lot of fun as well. The last one that I'm going to show you from this neighborhood is at the National Music Center. This one's called Music Melts the Ice. The next neighborhood also had 8 murals, and I will show you some of those. This one is called The Ghost Monkey. I really like this next one called Fluid. And this next one might seem a little dreamy. It's called Beyond the Clouds, and it's at a business called Shades of Sleep. This one is called There Sure Are a Lot of Bridges Here. And the final one I will show you is called Springtime in Italy. It's another one that helps us forget we are in the depths of a very cold winter. So this was a fun way to spend a couple of hours on a Saturday afternoon. Calgary has great public art, and I love that I get to witness it, and this is a really unique way of bringing art and technology together. I think that catches us all up. Margaret Atwood made me read Never Cry Wolf. I'm judging the BookTube Prize for translated fiction. There's a lot of hot chocolate in my future, and I really enjoyed a great walking tour of some fantastic local public art. So I will leave all of the links in the description box below if you are interested in checking any of these out, or you want to learn some more about the artists or anything like that. So please do so. And let me know if you have read Never Cry Wolf. What are your thoughts? Have you had any bookish food or art adventures in the last little while? I'd love to hear all about it. And I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.